Good afternoon.
Angela here, welcome to Chatty Walks with Angela. I am just about to walk along the Southbank to show you a winter's afternoon walk in London. Here's a little map telling you what you can see: TS Queen Mary, Waterloo Bridge, Royal Festival Hall, Charing Cross Railway Station, the Shard, not the Chard, the Shard. Chard is food. City of London, St Paul's. We've just had a lovely lunch at Brigit's Bakery. Those that follow me on the various medias will know that I tend to post pictures if I go there because it's delicious. And there's a giant teddy bear, at least one, if not many. This is time for a walk along the Southbank for London in the winter. Deep midwinter now. We have had frost overnight, proper frost, thick white roofs, grass, very slippery walking here today actually. Just been up filming the Inns of Court. It's very nice. And a bit of Fleet Street, stuff like that. Earlier we were over there on Waterloo Bridge, and now is it Hungerford Bridge that we're on now? So I don't know. Also had a nice drink in the Royal Festival Hall earlier. A very nice security guy accepted that I just couldn't find my app to show that I was, you know, safe to go in. And we're going to scoot along here now. Scoot. I'll see you when we get there. There's a helicopter above me. Always a helicopter. Good afternoon, and that is Big Ben. And guess what? It hasn't got any scaffolding on the top. We can actually see the clock. Now I know because of the angle of the sun it's not easy for you to see it. This is very exciting. So that's Westminster Bridge in a silhouette form, but at least we've got Big Ben back. Okay, so this is a walk along the Southbank in January. I am right next to the London Eye, which is just going to come into shot in a sec. So why not go? Okay, let's see. It's a Friday, it's January. It's been cold, frosty, foggy, atmospheric. Here we go. And actually we're right outside of County Hall. I can give you a bit of history. Would you like some history? You can eat in there now. Dedicated helper. Can you remember, is that where the Namco place is as well? In this building here. There's a Namco place where you kind of play slot machines and get those little ribbons of tickets to buy things that you don't really want and things like that. Yeah. So that used to be in here, I think, or a bit further along. Anyway, I can see there's a bakery, Japanese. I see Riverside Cafe, London County Hall. Anyway, so this is the old County Hall building, built between 1911 and 1933. Seat of the London County Council, then Greater London Council. Now home to a 5-star Marriott. Plus the London Dungeon, which we're just coming up to, Shrek, Sea Life, London Aquarium, all in this old building here. So a little bit busy. As I said, it's a Friday afternoon in January, but not a massive queue for the London Eye or anything like that. Here we are. It's moving pretty fast, actually. Lots of activity always on the river here. So there is Sea Life Centre London, London Aquarium. Some little seahorses here. I see somebody saved a little seahorse that was stranded at Bournemouth Beach last week. Already got your ticket, you can go in that entrance. I do find it a little bit confusing actually, the way into here. Have been in. I actually like a oceanarium. And here we've got Shrek. If you're coming for the Shrek Adventure, and I know children through to grown-ups very much seem to enjoy the Shrek Adventure. You can go in there. I see Trolls World Tour. Guess you take a little picture there. Off there you go. Let's have a peep over here. So we've got the pier over there for some of the river trips. And here we have the London Dungeon. Been into the London Dungeon, but not when it was here. Went into it when it was down the London Bridge end of town. And here we are, of course, at the London Eye. I'll do a big towering shot for you in a moment. So this, I don't know if you're aware, the Millennium Wheel, London Eye, call it what you want. This was for the arrival of the new millennium, the year 2000. And it was to celebrate the arrival of the new millennium. Here we go. Tall, tall shot of the London Eye. Originally, I think it was called the BA, British Airways London Eye. It took them less than 16 months to build. And I actually remember watching it going up. Been out for a night out with a friend, probably a little worse for wear. And we didn't realise it was going to have pods. We were picturing sitting on little seats high up in the air. We were a little bit scared at that idea. Obviously, that's not what they were planning. So, built in less than 16 months, and from inside all those observation capsules that you can see, the glass observation capsules, you have views of around 25 miles across London and the surrounding countryside. Don't know if it's working today. It's incredibly quiet if it is working. Looks like the ticket office is shut, so maybe it's out of action right now. There's the ticket office there, usually quite busy. There's great big pieces at the bottom of it. Yeah, there's big fencing around it, so obviously not working right now. Maybe they're doing annual maintenance. Somebody who knows things, drop it into comments. As you know, Chatty Walks with Angela means that I chat while I walk. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm an expert, but I do give it a go. Oh, closed for maintenance until the 24th of January, so it's only shut for another week, which is okay. Got lots of people still doing their shots naturally. Though if you travel here to use it, a bit disappointing. Sort of pointing you now at the Jubilee Gardens over there, which used to be a car park. So just through there, Jubilee Gardens, until 1977, a car park. And then they were transformed into the Silver Jubilee Gardens. Guess why? And then 2011, 2012, completely re-landscaped for the Diamond Jubilee Got some people busking here. The guy was doing, I think, clarinet earlier. Really good, really good. So, Jubilee Gardens. And I think we've got one of the big oil companies around here. It's Shell, I think. And Waterloo Station straight through there as well. Let's hit the river again. Got this little sculpture here. Jubilee Oracle. Alexander, 1980. Mankind is capable of an awareness that is outside the range of everyday life. Maybe we're grasping that a bit better. Maybe we used to. I very gently turn you in that direction. There's a fish and chip stand, and behind it, I believe, is what's known as the Jubilee. Jubilee, you say? What? A boat-like structure, I don't know if you can tell. It recalls a Roman galley, excavated close by in 1911. And the interesting thing about the Jubilee is that its roof gathers rainwater to flush the toilets. So there you go, Jubilee with a roof that helps to flush the toilets. Want a bit of history? I can give you some history if you want it. Southbank, prior to the 1800s, was cut off, all cut off along here, a marshy area, and there were ferrymen who went back and forth. That's the only way you could cross the river to the South Bank. And it was kind of a farming area. There were some public gardens, and sort of people from over the river, the urbanites, could pop across and have a little bit of refreshment. Little bit of relaxation from the hustle and bustle of city life. And actually, Lambeth, this is based on the Anglo-Saxon word Lambhythe, Lambeth, which means there would have been a muddy harbour or marsh. So you can hear the trains going over the bridge here. Always get those going across. I kind of like it. Throughout the 1800s, it started to become quite urbanised around here, more popular. And they set up the Old Vic. The Old Vic was actually here, but more inland, not quite on the riverside, like it is now. I'll show you in a moment. It was known as the Royal Coburg Theatre and the New Victoria Theatre. It could get away with things that you couldn't get away with north of the river. Sometimes you hear about a north-south divide in London. North of the river, south of the river. So north of the river, it was more restricted as to what you could put on in shows, theatre performances. So the theatres were subject to restrictions. Not on the South Bank. And they were rather considered permissive. Some even got closed down for disorderly conduct and naughty stuff on the stage. So there we go, Waterloo Bridge in the distance. We're going to get along to the previously Old Vic, now the National Theatre shortly. But we're now rocking up outside of, if you follow this channel regularly, one of my favourite spots, the Royal Festival Hall. And this followed the Festival of Britain, 1951, a focus for post-war recovery. I have been wondering if we'll have a thing for post-COVID recovery, a focus for that. So, focus for post-war recovery, national celebration. The Royal Festival Hall remained as a permanent legacy. It's interesting because the London Eye was only supposed to be until 2015 and stayed permanently and became a symbol of London. And the Royal Festival Hall still here, and it was joined to by the Hayward Gallery and the Royal National Theatre. I think it was Sir Laurence Olivier. Yes, he took over the National Theatre, put it on the riverside, upgraded those sorts of things. So here we are at Festival Pier. Get your boats, roll up. Hello, birdie. There's a timetable here, so you know where to go and when. Brutalist architecture. Southbank Centre. Brutalist architecture. 60s and 70s. So Queen Elizabeth Hall, which we're sort of looking towards now. Hayward Gallery. Brutalist architecture. Controversial, unpopular. Rightly so, in my opinion. I've recently finished lecturing at Brunel University, where I was for 20 years, but our main lecture hall was brutalist architecture with a preservation order, so you couldn't knock it down. Absolute nightmare for building modern lecturing halls and equipment. But many of them are knocked down now. This one, though, remains. And I'll show you my favourite little spot. Skateboarders in a moment. So here we are at Festival Pier. Pop on, get your tickets. Let me just show you the little map here. London River Services map. So there you go, there's your little stopping points and everything. Oddly, in terms of brutalism, this is now lauded as a fine example of postmodernism, hailed as a forerunner to others, such as the Pompidou Centre in Paris. And the National Theatre moved here in '76. Took a century to plan it. Reasons I'm unsure of. And now a landmark of the Southbank. So here's one of my favourite spots. The skateboarders. Young, frivolous people. Hey. So I'm very jealous of their knees, that they bend. Mine don't. Can't skateboard. Hardly need me to tell you that Waterloo Station, train station, would have been a big source of development around here. Westminster Bridge, Blackfriars Bridge, industry developed, cheap land, river access, storage, shipping, and so you had coal wharves, timber yards, potteries, printing houses. And this led to a population explosion in this once quiet village area. Waterloo Station, 1848, height of the Industrial Revolution. And that meant the railway company could do compulsory purchase and take any land they wanted to. Waterloo Station, by the way, at the end of the 19th century, had 700 steam trains a day leaving the station. Obviously, this caused pollution, thick smog from the soot, the steam trains falling onto the surrounding streets. It was very, very unpleasant compared to its previous village setup. Oaxaca, Mexican sweet street kitchen. I don't want to go too close, let me just have a look. Well, why not? Ancho chicken, £7.75, pork pibble £7.75, Coke £1.95. So we got some stuff here. Mexican. As we come to the National Film Theatre. Ooh, little markets here. I do like this little market. I have filmed along here numerous times. I don't think any of them have made it onto the channel. Often seem to get lighting problems, run out of battery problems. So let's hope this one makes it to publication. Southbank Book Market. So we go under Waterloo Bridge. They've also got some great things in here. Let's see what we've got today. Hogwarts Express. Lots of Hogwartsy stuff. Children-y stuff. Long shadows in the late afternoon. Actually, it's not that late in the afternoon, but because it's January, we are deep in midwinter. Lovely cards. Do a little bit of specialist shopping along here. Eating place there. Let's see what they got. Don't have a lot of time for reading anymore. I really miss it. James Bond postcards. Husband's a mad James Bond fan. The Mr. Men. I believe we have all the Mr. Men books. The whole collection. Oh, price check again. To share, Riverfront British cured meat and cheese board, £18. Marinated mixed olives, £4.50. Mount Grace grass-fed beef burger, £15.50. So there's some price ideas for you. So we approach the National Theatre. Now, somewhere around here you can get on top of a building. I must admit, I don't actually know where. Watch Walker did a video. Paul, where is it? Tell me. I don't know.
I can't. You're asking the wrong person. How weird. Girls come off like that. What are you doing?
I was highly offended by that. And I was like, what would I be? And I'm like, they've only stopped that the other day.
Somebody's asking that guy, what filming is he doing? Is it for YouTube? Hello. Right, National Theatre, and we're actually coming towards the end of this stretch of the walk. And I'm getting a red flashing battery, so yay, just as well. And I'm going to move you in this direction so we can look down the river for a final loving look towards St. Paul's Cathedral. looking towards the City of London there. By the way, we're not far from the IMAX. The IMAX cinema, did you know it's just above a underground line? But you can't hear anything, completely soundproof. Good stuff, huh? Oh, that's IBM, that's their offices there. Did a work placement visit there once to one of my students. It's okay. Went to the coffee shop. Oh, and here we have a beach. Let's have a look. Oh, impressive. Somebody's just doing backflips off there. I do love a Thames beach. I just wouldn't recommend going in the river. Right, I'm going to sign off shortly. Final river view. I do hope you enjoyed that lovely little afternoon walk in January along the South Bank. I will see you next time. Bye bye.